Okay, now let's create our cart item component. Now we know that the items that our cart item components will be getting will be the same item as the one that we display in our collection items. Because in our collection items, we get an image URL, we get the price, we get the name, and then we also now know we'll get a quantity because we'll be pulling that item off from our state. So what we're going to do, keeping in mind these properties, is first we're going to make our component. So we'll make a cart item component and create our usual files, our cart item component.jsx and our cart item styles.sass. And inside of our cart item component, we need our React from React. And we'll also need our cart item styles. And now what we're going to set as our cart item will be a functional component where we'll destructure off those properties that we need from our item. But we'll probably pass the whole item through. So we're going to get the item, and off of it, we want the image URL, we want the price, and we also want the name. And what we'll do is we will return a div with the class name of cart item. We're also going to need an image where the source points to our image URL. And for the alt key, we'll just say that it's an item. And then inside of our div, we can say that this thing is our item details container, because looking at the actual component, on the left side is our image, but on the right side is our details. So here we're going to have a span with the class name of name, where we'll display the name. And then we'll have the same thing except for price, where we'll have the price. With our $sign. And now let's export this as the default. And we'll also need our quantity, which we know we'll also get. We'll destructure that off, and we can just explicitly say quantity times this amount. So now, if we look at our cart item styles, I have also provided for you the styling here. And now we just need to import the cart item into our cart component, cart dropdown. So let's import in our new cart item. And in our cart dropdown, we need to display it inside of this div, but we need access to those cart items. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull them off using connect off of our Redux store. And what we will write is our map state to props equals our function where we get state. And what we'll return is cart items, which will go to state. Actually, let's just destructure it off state. So we need cart, and then off cart, we need cart items. And we can just have it pass cart items like this. We'll connect with our map state to props. And now we'll destructure our cart items here. And inside of our cart items, we can map out our cart items. So cart items.map with the cart item, and we will render our cart item component where the key goes to our cart item.id, and our item is the cart item. Whoops. Got to be careful of that casing. Okay. And now, if we look at our actual code, we open up our component, and if we add our item, there it is. We're able to now add as many items as we want, and we have them displayed here. So in a similar way, once we make our checkout page, it'll be pretty much the same thing. We add the items, we'll pull them into the component, and we'll display them. This pattern now, we've seen a couple times now, is hopefully very, very easy to write. You can see that once you get used to writing the code in the reducers, there's not much complexity when it comes to how to separate out your code. That's kind of the amazing thing about Redux, is that it just follows our unidirectional data flow pattern that we need and we need to think about when writing our React code. We have these actions that trigger state changes, and then using that state, we pull them into our components, and then we display the respective elements that we need. So we will do this a couple more times, but hopefully by now, you can see the benefit of what Redux does for us and this pattern. Okay, so now that we have our cart dropdown, let's commit our code. Status, git add, git commit, created cart item component, and connected our cart dropdown with cart items reducer. Awesome. Now let's continue.